Little tip for replacing snowmobile Bogie wheels. I don't buy OEM bearings for my Bogie wheels anymore. I've been buying cheaper eBay ones. They come from China. They spin smooth though. You can get a 10-pack in a roll like this for like 25 bucks. The only issue I ever have with these is that they don't have that much grease on the inside. So I'll show you. This is the grease that I use. I add grease to the inside, Maximum Racing waterproof grease. And you can simply take a little knife, pull it into the seal, pull that seal up, and you can see there is some grease in these ones. Some of them have been worse that I've gotten from eBay before, but there's a little bit of grease in there, but I'll just fill it anyways and then put the seal back in. Take a little Q-tip in the grease, get a little grease on there like that, and the Q-tip works really good. And I just take some grease and fill it like this, and then get some more grease, not that much, fill it, and make sure the grease is waterproof. It'll protect the bearings a little more, but I just like to rub around a little extra grease in there and pop the seal back on top of it. I'll probably add a little more than that, but basically just pack it in. And you only really have to do it on one side, because as soon as the bearing spins, I mean, you could do it on both if you want to, but as soon as this bearing starts spinning inside the snowmobile track, it's gonna kind of disperse. The Q-tips do fall apart eventually. I just have a couple extra. You don't want those fibers from the Q-tip in your bearing once they start coming apart. So I basically just pack that baby full with some grease, throw the seal back on, and as the wheel spins, it'll kind of disperse around to the other side of the bearing. And to put the seal back on, I just put it on, push down on it a couple times like that, and then I take a rag and I'll wipe the rest of it out, and then put my little clip back in. So these Bogie wheels are still really nice. These cheaper bearings from eBay, I don't know, I usually have, even if you buy the expensive bearings, they're still going to dry out and lock up on you because they're in the snow. The water's getting through the seal into the bearing. They rust and they seize up, and they don't spin very freely. So I just started buying cheaper wheel bearings for these Bogie wheels. Throw a little bit of extra grease in there. Usually I'm replacing these after, it seems like nowadays, every season recently. So I'm replacing at least one of them because it seizes up or gets tight. So you might as well buy the cheap ones, throw a little grease in there, have fun for the winter. And for $20 for 10 of them, I mean, you can spend 20 bucks at the end of each season, have all new Bogie wheel bearings, which isn't a bad price. Anyways, have a good night. Not to mention, but I wanted to, if you don't know the size of your bearings, they usually say on the seal. So if you take these out, like this one says 6004 RS, 6004 is basically the number. But if you take them out of your wheels and you want to know what size to order on eBay, you simply, all you need is a digital caliper. And then if you read the specs on the bearing, it'll tell you the inner diameter, the outer diameter, and the width of the bearing. So just get yourself a digital caliper, measure the outer diameter. This one's 42. The inner is, it says 19.8. 20 would be the inner though, and then just measure the outside like this. And this one would be a 12 millimeter. So that's how you would measure it, and then you would look up those dimensions on eBay and then just put Bogie wheel bearing after that, and you'll see you can get a 10-pack for like 20 bucks, like I said.